right, what did I miss?
Nothing.
It's best of?
Best of.
Ready to do news?
Sure.
Roads aren't really as bad as I thought they were going to be. I was more worried about driving into some crap.
Yeah.
I didn't see any hail. All I just saw was moderate rain, unless something's coming.
Most of it is going past Dallas now.
Oh, okay. It's going north. You're still chomping your teeth. Why I got to start the show with this? Are you wearing your chompers?
Yes.
Every night?
Every night. Right by the bed.
Every night?
Every night.
How long before Dr. Hipp said that it would correct the problem?
I don't think he said it would ever necessarily correct the problem.
Why are you wearing them?
Because I have it, and it's keeping me from clenching my teeth while I'm sleeping, but that's not what we're in here.
What did Dr. Mike say?
Let it go.
I'm sorry, what?
And go. Yet.
Did you hear that in the other room? Why not?
I just haven't really had the chance.
Yes, you've had many of an opportunity to go. He's offered to meet you on the weekends at night, before the show, after the show.
I can't do it before the show.
I don't want you to come back here until you've gone to see go to see Dr. Mike for your hypnosis. This chomping thing's driving me nuts.
Okay.
You said okay before.
I'll go see the man.
When are you going to go?
I don't have an appointment.
Get Dr. Mike on the phone. Why do I have to keep bringing this up? I have the same problem with O'Malley and Tassos and everybody else to where I want to know something. It hasn't been done. And I have to ask on what happened.
You really think hypnosis?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what if it's not physical, it's a mental thing, and he will stop it. Stop making me cuss. Just trying to start the show out on a happy note since we've had an extra hour to relax. Go and get your teeth fixed. There's no reason to chomp. It's irritating. I don't do it. Eddie doesn't do it.
I hear you do it occasionally, actually. I just never bring it up.
You ever hear me do it? Eddie's never heard it. I have. My teeth don't go... I would have to go out of my way to do it. Watch. I can't do it.
Didn't even try.
And you only do it at the end of a sentence. It's not like it's in the middle of a sentence, you chomp in the chomp. It's like an exclamation point.
Yes. Just when my mouth's closing.
Well, I understand that. That's what makes the noise. Mm-hmm. Dr. Mike, don't come back until you set up an appointment. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Russ. Hey, I was wondering if you saw Cuban on the wrestling show last night.
Why would I watch wrestling?
Oh, well, he got the crap beat out of him at the pay-per-view last night.
Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Anybody else see that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was on the pay-per-view last night. I was there in attendance. And,
all right, why was, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Don't run off.
No.
Dr. Mike, when's the next available time you can get JD in?
Whenever he shows up.
No, just give me a date and time and he will be there.
No, he won't.
Has he set up a date before and just not shown?
No, he always calls and cancels.
You better not cancel again.
I didn't cancel.
Not you.
Oh. I mean, I'm available. You know, it just...
Give me a date and time right now.
Well...
him.
Just be so much easier if he can come up here.
He's not going to come up here. He's going to do you a favor by giving you free hypnosis. Go and see him. Do not come back and you better not cancel on him again. I'm going to have this wheel of thing over here attached to you. All right, the date and time, Dr. Mike?
Well, whenever he's available.
No. You tell me, and he'll be there.
Tomorrow morning.
What time? Don't shake your head. You're going. Forget show prep. You're going tomorrow morning. You are not coming back to the station without going to see him. Okay. Fix him tomorrow, Dr. Mike.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay. Do we now have directions to the office?
You've had 3 months to get directions to his office. Why don't you take a couple of minutes and look them up? Okay. How about that, Dr. Mike?
Hey.
I don't think I want you seeing him.
I'll come back and go, hey. My teeth don't click.
Tomorrow Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. When are you going?
Tomorrow.
It'll probably take him one session, you're done. You may not even have to sleep with that thing in your mouth.
Well, that still keeps me from grinding my teeth at night, which is a good thing.
You just missed what I said. Grinding your teeth, obviously, is some type of affliction, some kind of nervous tick. And he probably can correct that so you won't have to sleep with the thing in your mouth at night.
Sleep.
But you'll never know unless you go to see him. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. How exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Seems like you want to fix this.
I don't hear it, so...
Oh, I didn't have to turn the mics off for that. I didn't cuss.
No.
Sorry. I hear it. Go back to this guy. Hi, Chris.
Hey.
What was Mark Cuban doing on the wrestling thing?
Well, it was a whole storyline thing, I guess. I don't know. And one of the bosses for the wrestling thing came out, or first they interviewed Mark Cuban, and then one of the managers of wrestling came out and told him to get in the ring.
Well, wait a minute. Why did they introduce Mark Cuban? Because he was
just in attendance in front row, I guess.
Okay. All right, so they made it look like he was just sitting there, and somebody went, "Oh, hey, look, it's Mark Cuban. Let's go talk to him."
Yeah, so they went to go talk to him, and then one of the Eric Bischoff, who's the boss of wrestling, I guess.
Okay.
He came out. He told Mark Cuban to go in the ring, and so Cuban went in the ring. Everybody's getting pumped up and everything.
All right. Well, wait a minute. Why did he tell Cuban to get in the ring?
Because he wanted. Okay, the whole thing was.
If anybody else saw this and get to the point a lot quicker, there'll be a nice quarter in it for you. Possibly a savings bond. So I'm guessing Cuban was in on some wrestling shtick, got in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sure we'll get the entire story momentarily. I'll wait. In the meantime, I'll enjoy a tasty beverage. Just in time. All right, what's the story?
Okay, they saw Mark Cuban. They wanted to interview him to see if he would think Team Bischoff.
You're not going to do any better. What's the story? All right, you're out already. Hello?
I got the story.
Okay, let me have it.
Hi. Mark Cuban was sitting in the front row. They interviewed him because he was like the guy from American Airlines and the Mavericks and all that crap. So they asked him, what is it that you're here to see? He said he was there to see Stone Cold kick Eric Bischoff's ass.
Okay.
During that time, Eric Bischoff came out and said that he's pretty tough.
Now, this Eric Bishop, is he just another wrestler?
No, he's actually like the general manager of what would be Raw.
Okay, I got it.
And then he said, you're pretty tough. Well, you're talking behind the barrier or whatever. Why don't you come up here and say it to my face?
Okay.
So he got up there in the ring. Little shoving match came on.
Now, how big is this guy that Cuban's shoving?
Actually, he's a lot smaller than Cuban.
Okay, good.
No offense, JD, but he kind of lives like JD.
All right, go ahead.
And shoving match came on. He shoved Cuban. Then Cuban got the stronger push and nearly threw him out of the ring.
Okay.
When he threw him out of the ring, he kept talking crap. One of the wrestlers came out from the back and did their finishing move on Cuban, and Cuban was just laid out.
Whoa. What's the finishing move?
It's
Did he
called
blow in his eyes? Or he do it on his chest? What's the finishing move?
The what now?
What is the finishing move?
The RKO.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this. Oh, yes. Kevin, what's the finishing move?
It's called the RDP.
All right. What does that stand for?
Man, I don't know what it stands for.
What does it look like?
He grabbed him by his neck and then twisted it around backwards and dropped him where he was face first on the floor.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Now Cuban's down on the floor.
Uh-huh.
And then what?
then basically Eric Bischoff walks off with the other wrestler, and they go back to the back, and Cuban's still acting like he's been, just stunned completely.
Right.
And they have to have somebody help him get out of the ring. It takes about 2 people to help him get out of the ring. And then I never saw him again. He never went back to his chair, so it was obviously staged. I mean...
Don't laugh.
Sorry.
You see my surprise face again?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, thanks, Kevin. Hey, what does it cost for these pay-per-views?
What does it cost?
Yeah.
My ticket was $90.
You actually go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. $90 for one seat?
One seat. Yeah, my boy's into it big time, so I had to take him.
Okay. All right, thanks. Okay, I got it then. Mark Cuban was there for a stunt. Goes, well, normally with things like that, when you're getting your ass beat, somebody comes in, one of the good guys comes in and saves you.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like that happened.
Maybe it was real.
All I know is I don't do any more wrestling stunts. Because the last time, I got thrown out of the ring, and nobody told me about it ahead of time.
Well, so you really ought to coordinate that stuff. You could really get hurt. You were thrown out onto the concrete?
They threw me. I can't even remember the two guys. There was 2 teams. Okay. You had the 2 good guys, and they were there to save me. You got the 2 bad guys, and they were there to hurt me. With me so far?
Well, got you.
Okay. Trying to remember why I was in the ring. All right, so I'm in the ring. I don't remember why. It's like I just picked up in the middle of a dream. In the middle of the ring, the guys come in, and they start whooping my ass, and then they both pick me up. And before, obviously, I was in on all this because it's all fake. They had me sign a release. All right, we're going to go in the ring, and you just need to sign this. I didn't sign one last time. What's different this time? Well, we forgot to do it last time, just in case you slip or something falls out of your ass. Sign this, if you would. So they both picked me up. Got me by the shoulders and by the feet. Now I'm up over their heads.
Jesus.
And they throw me over the ropes. Unbeknownst to the host, there are 2 guys out ready to catch me.
But they miss.
I don't care if they miss or not. I'd like to know if I'm going to get chunked around.
That's true.
So they're getting ready to throw me over the ropes, and I went, no. So about the time that they throw me, I see the 2 good guys down on the concrete ready to catch me. I'd already stuck my arm out and grabbed the rope. Had I not grabbed the rope, I wouldn't have arced the way that I did and slammed into the side of the ring. They probably would have caught me and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't say. I went back and watched the tape, and I could only watch it once. Because it's absolutely retarded. I went, that's it, I'm out. So I can't believe Cuban even got in there.
But they probably rehearsed and, he knew exactly what was going to go on.
Well, what's going to happen with a little guy?
Yeah.
The 2 guys that were in the ring with me were huge.
Yeah. And they have no concept of normal human beings and the breakability factor.
No.
They think.
And that was the last time. That was at the Sportatorium. Is that place still up? Did they tear it down yet? Has it been raised?
It was still up the last time I heard.
Okay. All right, I'm done. You ready for news? Sure. Say.
Yes.
What you doing tomorrow morning?
Going to Dr. Mike at 10.
Good. All right, 410. Did you run a legal ID? J.D. Ryan's on Live 105.3.
Thank you, Russ. Brought to us by Miller Lite.
This hour of the Russ Martin Show is brought to you in part by Miller Lite.
And by Service King Collision Center in Irving. Eddie will be there on Thursday from 11 to 1 with lunch from Applebee's off Beltline Road in Irving. Here we go. Monday, November 17, 2003. Daisy Fuentes turns 37 today. Danny DeVito is 59. Lauren Michaels from Saturday Night Live, he's 59. Lauren Hutton is 60. Martin Scorsese, 61. And Gordon Lightfoot turns 65.
By the way, are you over your freaky thing where you have this pending doom crap?
Yeah, I feel better. I just got over the weekend.
And it's gone?
Yeah.
Happy?
Mm-hmm.
Energetic today?
Happy. Slept real well. Slept most of the day yesterday.
And still don't know what it was?
No. Just a weird dark cloud. I mean, don't.
Well, it had to be. Well, not without a reason.
Oh yes. It happens better once in a while. Normally I don't bring it up. Normally it's not as bad as that.
No, I always notice. I just let it irritate me from the inside.
Oh. I'm glad I could do something for you.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is sworn in today as the 38th governor of California, completing his rise from bodybuilder to action hero to leader of the nation's most popular state in a historical recall election. The Austrian immigrant took the oath of office on the steps of the Capitol for the audience of 7,500 dignitaries and supporters as millions more watched from around the world. Number one is, actually, that's some little kids do the Pledge of Allegiance right before he came up.
I believe those were his children.
All of them were his kids? One of them has a breather. Did you see that?
Maybe that was Christopher Reeve's kid.
No, it wasn't. And they put the kid with the breather right in front of the microphone. And that's all you hear.
Put your right hand over your heart and join us in the pledge.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's real. Because I'm watching on CNN and he goes, look, the kid in front of the microphone's got a breather.
Put your right hand over your heart and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
It just goes through the whole thing.
All right.
America and to the republic for which
If this is not real, tell me now.
It is absolutely straight off CNN. Where?
Do they sing anything later?
No.
Damn.
They just leave.
stand one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wait, there's one more. Wait, there it is.
All right, I just had a slobber thing going.
Schwarzenegger's wife, Maria Shriver, held the Bible while the California Supreme Court Chief Justice Ronald George administered
The one thing the kid can't do, and they stick a mic in front of him, I want him to talk.
right in front.
Was he paralyzed too?
No.
Maybe he could have played hacky sack.
Good.
Go ahead.
Cut to the oath if you care. Here, Arnold.
Oh, Arnold's doing the oath?
Yes.
Well, that's not any good.
Oh, the kid left.
Yeah. Oh.
Repeat the oath of office after me. I, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
I, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will defend the Constitution
Are they in the tub?
No.
Oh.
against all enemies,
I will defend the Constitution against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign or domestic,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will
That's a nice image, though. Imagine them having this ceremony. They're both facing each other in the tub, feet to feet. just put that in your mind as you're listening to this.
well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, Governor Schwarzenegger.
Go ahead.
That's it. First Lady Laura Bush, who has acknowledged her support of abortion rights in the past, indicated yesterday that she supports a ban on late-term abortions that her husband recently signed into law. Days before her husband took office, Laura Bush stated that she did not think the landmark Roe versus Wade abortion rights ruling should be undone, despite President Bush's strong opposition to abortion. She was in Dallas, by the way, to attend a luncheon benefiting United Cerebral Palsy and took time to tour the $70 million National Sculpture Center that opened last month. What?
Nothing. You know you butchered the story. There's no reason for me to say anything. You're smart enough to know that you're an F-up. Well, you did.
It could be another great week. Rush Limbaugh.
What's wrong? You knew that you screwed it up. I don't even need to point it out anymore. You do know when you screw up, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there's no reason to me keep pointing at it.
Rush Limbaugh returned.
And I think I'm against the late-term abortion ban.
You're against it?
Yes. I think you should be able to abort it until the kid's able to walk out and go, hello.
No. It's not a visual, though. It's a good visual, though.
I always thought late-term abortion had always been banned. I mean, up to what point was it legal in the past that you could actually abort a kid?
At one point, it was legal all the way up till
they came out.
Until they came out, yeah. But and I don't know that they actually passed it. I think it's different states adopted it to where anything in the third trimester, the last 3 months, when the baby could actually live outside the womb.
Yeah, I would say that, to me, that would be the rule of thumb. I don't know if that's overly simplistic, but if the kid can live without the mother, then at that point, it's a human being and can do whatever it wants. So, I would say I'm probably with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think if my position's changed as I've gotten older. I don't think it would be. I think if something's that big and it's showing in the mother's stomach and it's, if she's pretty plump with the fetus.
Yeah, right. If you can get, that's still a fine line of the law, but if you get in the first month or so, what's slightly different than 5 months old?
Yeah, if it's still an egg and it ain't got no fingers or nothing.
Yeah. I don't know what point it develops them, but.
How long before they get fingers?
Fingers it's within the first month.
Oh, is it?
At the end of the first month.
Okay. Well, then I'm not on the fingers thing. I was going to say, as soon as it gets fingers, it's... All right, I'm against the fingers.
Okay.
What about eyeballs? When do those come in?
Right towards the end of the first month. Right at the end of the first month, you can tell it's a baby.
Oh, those kids grow fast.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
All right, late term then. I'm good with that one. Go ahead.
All right. Rush Limbaugh returned to the radio today after what he called 5 intense weeks of rehab for an addiction to painkillers, promising listeners even more honesty to come. Cut number 3 is his first words he's spoken in a month on the radio.
I'm nervous. I have butterflies in my stomach. I've been anticipating this moment since last Thursday. Actually, since last Wednesday afternoon. Last Wednesday afternoon, I was discharged from the treatment center, which, by the way, was not in Tucson. We succeeded in fooling everybody on that. It was in Arizona.
Did he say he was in Tucson?
Apparently they did. They let it out that he was going to be in Tucson.
Did anybody know that? Well, I guess we were certainly fooled. Like anybody gives a rat's ass where he is for a month. What do they do in rehab? You always hear that. They lock you up in a room. Do you get to talk to anybody?
I don't know.
Do you know, Eddie?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Actually, I have a brother that's been through rehab a couple of times.
Okay.
But
so does it...
Almost missed that.
Yeah. What, I'm guessing it's different depending on your addiction.
Yes, and depending on whether it's court ordered or not, because if it's court ordered, then you actually have to stay in there. They mandate you a room that you stay in.
It's like a house arrest.
Yeah, you see counselors. They have, he was a meth addict, so they had different things that would help him overcome the meth addiction.
Okay.
So, he was there, but I saw other people that were there.
Now, when you say they have different things, is it
it's drugs.
Is it? Oh, it's all drugs.
Yeah,
Is any of it counseling?
Yeah, there's a lot of counseling. They set them in a little room, like I'm trying to think of
group sessions.
Yeah, group sessions where all sitting around.
Heart. Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah,
okay.
Where they just all sit around and talk about why they did whatever and try to come to the root to the problem and stuff like that. But the majority of them don't take it seriously. And the people that were there of their own free will could walk out anytime they wanted to. He used to get a guy to go get him hamburgers because he hated the food there, and the guy would just leave and go get burgers and hang out all day and then come back and bring him back a burger or something.
So did he not get any better when he got out?
No, actually, when he went to prison, that broke him of it.
Oh. How long was he locked up?
A little over a year up in Arkansas.
Prison always straightened me out. Don't ask me about it because I don't have my notes.
Okay.
All right, so he was in rehab for what, about a month? Not your guy, Limbaugh.
Limbaugh was in
yeah.
All right. So they don't just lock it. In my mind, when they say rehab, you get locked in a room and they let you out when you're over it.
No, I think especially, they let you out when it's court ordered. But I would imagine you're going there, you're there on your own volition. Probably talk to doctors, group therapy, maybe some kind of drug to help him get over that.
I don't know. What was he addicted to?
Rush?
Yeah.
Was addicted to painkillers, OxyContin.
Okay. Wonder how they wean you off that.
That one is just almost cold turkey. There's almost nothing that they can give you to the painkillers, because it's a whole different high. It's not actually getting high at that point. It's actually to the point where your body doesn't feel anything.
Well, so what do you do about the pain?
From what I understand, he wasn't actually in pain at that point. He'd taken it and got addicted to it for pain early on,
okay.
But then it just got used to taking it, being able to mellow out on the couch and forget that he was anybody.
Hold on a second. Yes, Kevin.
What's up, Russ?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just seen your old lady in town, dude.
Who? L.A.?
Yes.
Where is she?
She is at the DFW airport.
Who's she with?
She was with nobody.
How do you know she was at the airport?
Because I was dropping a friend of mine off, and I saw her walking out of the terminal, and I asked her if that was her. She said yes, she was in town to do a special appearance, and she was going to surprise you.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
She would not tell me where she was going or where she was doing the appearance or anything else.
But she said specifically to surprise me.
Yes. I asked her, well, I go, well, Russ doesn't even know you're in town. She goes, like, I know it's going to be a surprise.
All right. Good. Thanks for the heads up.
All right.
All right. Cool. All right. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I know nothing about that.
I don't either. That's why it's a surprise.
Yes. Well, sometimes she'd tell me and not to tell you.
All right. So you really don't know?
I have no idea. Didn't know she was coming in at all.
Does anybody know? Had you heard from her, Dan? No? What?
I'm talking to her on the phone. She says she's not in Dallas.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Where are you?
I am in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina.
Really? What are you looking at right now? That's instant.
This very instant?
Yes.
I'm looking at an airline that makes you, like, line up like cattle. It's
Okay.
hilarious.
Well, you're obviously someplace else.
I had a photo shoot in Charlotte.
You had a photo shoot where?
In Charlotte, for the cover of Exotic Dancer.
Oh, Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte. Got
The
it.
buyer's guide.
Okay, so you're not in town.
Oh, who told you I was in town?
Some guy just called, said he saw you at the airport and you were coming in to surprise me.
Oh, my God. How could they even miss me if I was at the airport?
He said he saw you at the...
Some other big blonde.
Obviously, he was making it up.
You think he is?
Are you in town?
No, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm in Raleigh right now.
What are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at boarding 826 A, B, and C.
And where are you flying from? Where are you flying to?
I'm flying. I have a 3-hour layover in Baltimore. Then from there, I go to Islip, Long Island. From there, I have to drive home for 4 hours, go pick up my costumes, then go all the way back to Connecticut, and then through Connecticut to New York City, to Queens. What a sketch, huh?
When are you coming back?
Soon, I hope.
Well, there's no way for us to start on our future together if you're not here in town.
Well, we can't stop this relationship if you keep telling everybody lies.
What am I lying about?
You told everybody that you were in New York City, trying to make yourself look good.
Let's focus on one thing at a time.
Honey, you wait till my website goes up in 30 days, full throttle, you are so in trouble.
Why?
Because everybody that wants to know something and they send messages over on it,
yes,
I'm just going to go on once a week and just answer all of them.
Well, I'm sure I can get around that. Yes. How long before you come back?
Soon. I need to find
Shut
work.
up. I'm talking to her.
I don't have any weeks off till like the end of January. Well, the middle.
You're not coming back until next year?
Well, January, yeah.
I can't wait that long.
Well, I have Christmas week kind of off.
Well, we're off Christmas week. Why don't you come for Christmas?
Because the week before that, I have a cruise with my family. Then Christmas week, I have completely off. And then the week after that is New Year's week. And I haven't planned anything for New Year's to host any shows yet.
I don't have any plans for New Year's. Why don't you come in for then?
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Good.
But I'm such a workaholic.
I know. When was the last time that you talked to the billionaire guy?
A week ago, 2 weeks ago.
About what?
2.5 weeks ago.
About what?
Nothing. It was just really brief.
Did he say
I've been really busy, honey.
Good. Did he say he missed you?
Oh, yeah.
Did he say he loved you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you say you loved him?
Yeah.
You need to stop that.
At least I don't have to beat it out of him.
I said I loved you before. I love you.
No, I had to beat it out of you.
No, you don't have to beat it out of me. I love you. And I'd also love for you to stop talking to him. Stop talking to him.
What are you doing today?
Oh, no. I want you to sever all ties with this billionaire guy, or I'm not looking into our future anymore.
Honey, what was the theme of your show today?
Bye. If she calls back, you tell her that again. Why did you want your mic on? I'm in a mood. I don't think I'm going to need your help with women today.
Okay.
I don't come get in the background when you're talking to Joy. Hey, what are you doing? Put me on.
Yes, you do.
Let me talk to her. I do not.
No, you don't. You're always in my business.
I am not in your business when we're off the air.
Well, we were on the air.
It's not the issue.
Look down and know.
I know. Go ahead. I'm in no mood for this.
Okay. Why do you have such a bad mood?
I just said go on. I'm not in the mood for it.
Okay. What's the matter with you? I'm just wondering. You didn't let her. All right, Bills Parcells and Jerry Jones are convinced the Cowboys will be in the playoff race for the long haul. So
who told them that?
One loss against a quality opponent isn't going to change that belief. Cowboys failed to score a touchdown for the second time in 4 games.
Stop and think about it. What are they going to say? We got our asses kicked this season is over. We're effed. Really, what else would you expect to come out of the Cowboy camp?
That's all you can say.
We had a good opponent. We got beat. It's not the end of the season. We're going to move on. We're going to look at the mistakes that we made on this past game, capitalize on those mistakes, turn a negative into a positive. We don't even know which way to go just yet. And then move forward.
That was it. That was the after-game press conference. We're still tied with Philadelphia for first place, by the way, in the NFC East. Cowboys played their next 2 games against quality opponents also. Carolina is 8-2. Miami is 6-4. At home, where they've won 4 consecutive games, the Cowboys rank number 1 in the NFL in offense after 4 weeks, and they've declined steadily. They entered Sunday's game ranked 12th.
Have we played anybody difficult since the season started? Anybody that was really a contender? Because the way they're throwing this out, we played against a quality team. By that statement, you assume everybody before that sucked.
Yeah, they had. New England last night, they were 7-2, the same as the Cowboys. So they had the same record, so they were good. Buffalo the previous week that we beat was actually a pretty good team. Played Tampa Bay, but we got beat there.
Well, I wonder why they're focusing on the fact that, hey, it's a quality team.
I would say because it's one of the top teams in the league right now.
Okay. And next week will be Carolina 8-2, so that's going to be a tough one too, but we will be at home.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
That's only good news. American Music Awards last night. Clay Aiken with the Fans' Choice Award.
Is that the gay-looking one?
Yeah.
All right.
Kid Rock got the favorite male artist. Favorite female artist was Jennifer Lopez. Favorite band or duo was Fleetwood Mac. And favorite album was Justified by Justin Timberlake. Favorite artist alternative, Linkin Park. And favorite artist contemporary was Celine Dion. The Michael Jackson International Artist of the Year, Madonna. John Travolta has found a way to get home faster. He parks his Qantas 707 jet at his back door. The star now keeps a Boeing 707 jet right now near his new mansion. It's called Jumbo Air. It's a fly-in community just in west of Orlando, Florida. The gated estate where Travolta built his home, he also has a runway, which is long enough for his 707 to take off and land, as well as his Gulfstream 4. One part of the $4.9 million family mansion resembles an air traffic control tower. It has 8 bedrooms, 10-car garage, and 2 airport hangars. A carport conceals a walkway that connects the cockpit to the back porch. Travolta's smaller Gulfstream jet is parked in a corner away from the house. Travolta bought the 707 back in 1998 and kept the old-style logos on the exterior. Inside, it's been remodeled to have a bar, couches, beds, and several TVs.
How absurd.
What?
Nothing.
You're right, it's not absurd.
Move on. There are different levels of absurdity, and he's gone way over. Got 2 jets in the back of your house.
Yes, it's functional. He flies around the country. You get 2 Batmobiles.
Both of them run.
So?
What, you make it sound like they're not functional. I drive them all over the place. Mm-hmm. I do charity events. Therein lies the difference in what Travolta's doing. I use the Batmobiles for charity stuff.
He used the 707 for a charity thing, flew around the world.
We're talking about me right now.
Have you seen the picture of his house with the runways?
No.
Look at this. From the air.
Where's the house?
It's in the middle.
Are you sure that's a house?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is.
It's crafted
it looks so small, but up next to the 707.
707 is huge, though.
you seen this, Eddie? I guess that's the house. Wow. And he can actually take that 707. He can
fly it, yeah, from
that place.
Right.
All right.
And he can get in it without ever leaving the house because he's got the porch built right into it. Kind of cool. Jerry Lee Lewis has been ordered to pay $10,000 a month in child support for his 16-year-old son. It is only temporary, though. A judge awarded that as a temporary sum while Jerry and his estranged sixth wife, Carrie Lewis, work out their divorce. Strangely enough, Carrie also has only temporary custody. The kid will stay with Jerry on school nights. And Ice-T has reached a child support deal with Linda Sanchez, the mother of his 2-year-old son, Kevin Ice Morrow. Ice will pay $8,200 per month, plus more than 90% of the kid's medical expenses and 80% of the private school tuition. What are y'all laughing at?
Nothing anybody would... It's only funny to us.
Okay.
Eddie and I are just passing notes in class.
All right.
Go ahead.
Who said this? These parents, they think I'm a role model for their kids, that their kids look at me as some sort of idol. But it's parents' jobs to make sure their kids don't turn out that shallow.
I did.
Yes, you did. Somebody else also said it. It's the parents who should be teaching their kids how to behave. That's not my responsibility. I'm not responsible for your kid. Was it Christina Aguilera, Hilary Duff, Britney Spears, Beyonce Knowles?
Britney.
Correct. Britney Spears in the current issue of Entertainment Weekly. Not have to raise your kid.
She's right. I don't care what she does. They had pictures of her on the internet smoking. Like it's a sin. So what?
I know. It's a big deal.
She wants to get out, sing, shake her cans all over the place, make money. Who cares what she does?
Right. But parents like to hold, my little girl sees that. She's going to dress
well,
like that.
Well, then you tell your parents that this isn't real life. She smokes because she's got millions of dollars and she ain't even 25 yet. That ain't real life. You're 13. We're never going to have a life like that. Hell, let's start smoking. She's right. I mean, as stupid as she is, there's no other way to look at that. Because if you start using people like that as role models, yeah. That's a crapshoot every time. Especially if you do an athlete. You pick one. Next thing you know, he's accused of rape, or he's on drugs, or he's driving down the freeway hitting white people with his car. You don't want to pick anybody famous to be a role model. Pick your mom or your dad, or a policeman or a firefighter.
You're right. Good point.
Pick real people. You get it's more realistic. People expect normal stuff out of people living fantastic lives.
It's a lot of pressure, a lot of money. You can do whatever you want. And it gets plastered over every newspaper in the world.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
And finally, our buddy Ed Asner had a good weekend. Elf did better in its second week than Master and Commander did in its first. Elf pulled in another $27.2 million. Master
We're going to call him for his birthday.
Ed Asner. Oh, we were. We just didn't.
Do we have to break? Badly? We'll just make it quick. Get him on the phone really quick. See if you can find him. Go ahead. It made how much?
$27.2 million, followed by Master and Commander.
Was it number one?
Uh-huh. Number one in its second week.
All right, go ahead.
Master and Commander was number 2. The Matrix Revolution, number 3. Brother Bear, number 4. And Looney Tunes Back in Action, number 5. And that's it.
Wasn't that the premiere this weekend of Russell Crowe's movie?
Yes.
So he debuted at number 2 behind the Elf movie.
Yes.
Dandy. Hold on a second. How you doing, Dan? Is it ringing? Is he answering? Is that him? Put him on hold. There we go. Mr. Asner?
Yeah.
How was your birthday?
It was lovely.
What did you do?
Well, we just had a small dinner at home. Crab risotto my wife fixed with asparagus, lovely salad. And that was all followed, we had wine and beer. And then that was followed by my favorite cake, which is carrot.
Lovely. And that was the big evening in itself. Who came over? Anybody famous or just small family?
No, just my ex-wife and my daughter and her husband.
Why would your ex-wife come over?
Because we're good friends.
Why?
Because I have that kind of aura.
How many times have you been married? You sound like a pain.
I sound like a pain.
Yeah. You've been married twice?
Yeah.
How long you been married the second go-round?
I think it's 6 years.
How long were you married?
Either 5 or 6.
How long were you married the first time?
Well, officially 27.
That would be a long time.
Yeah. She's a part of me. And I'm a part of her.
Isn't that a bad song?
No.
Bad what?
Nothing. I don't understand how anybody, because JD's the same way. I don't know how you guys keep decent relationships with exes. Normally when I'm done with them, I hate them.
Oh, no. She has reason to hate me, but I have no reason to hate her. And if she's willing to be a friend with me, then I am very lucky.
Hey, congratulations on the movie again over this past weekend.
Yeah, it did nicely.
Well, what did it make the first weekend?
42.3.
Wow. Second weekend is still number one with 27 million.
It said, yeah, that's right, 27.
Yeah.
27. So,
you know what? I called this one wrong too, because I saw the trailers. I went, this one's going to come and go. It's going to be in video just in time for this Christmas. And I said the same thing about Spider-Man, and I got that one wrong too.
Oh, you fool.
Yeah.
You fool.
And you know,
should have checked with me.
I was going to see it over this weekend. I got busy. I didn't know this. The guy that was in Swingers, the stocky guy.
Yeah.
He, what's his name?
You mean Jon Favreau?
Yeah, he directed it.
Well, he created it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He co-wrote it, more or less. But he's very talented and the sweetest guy in the world.
Now, how is it when people, obviously he's new to Hollywood, when people like that, when they're going to direct you, who's been around for a while, how do they treat you?
Oh, like you treat me.
I'm thinking about that one.
We dig each other.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does he actually
shaft each other, I should say.
Does he go back and critique and go, hey, Ed, I want you to do it this way this time because I'm not getting...
I can't really... if there is any problem, we discuss. He gives his view and I give my view. And sometimes he'll change or I'll accept what he has to say. There was not one moment of controversy.
Okay.
I mean, it was just smooth. It was like the snow we were riding on.
It would just seem like after so many years in entertainment, nobody would tell you anything on how to do a character. You know?
Well, no. I could find some schmucks. I really can. But most of them defer.
Yeah, I can see that. And we've had this conversation off the air before. It's like you'll have people come in. It's like we've had program directors come in and go, hey, you know what? I don't think I exactly like the bit that you did at 4:15. I think you overshot the target demographic. That's fine. Why don't you get in there? You work for 4 hours and see how your show turns out.
Yeah. Overshot the target demographic. Well, why did he wait till the results come in?
Well, that was the thing. Oh, I could, if you...
Oh.
Where's my bottle?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to drink it.
Where's my whiskey bottle?
I don't know.
You're not going to drink denying me, are you?
No.
The what?
Denying him.
Oh,
no. What do you drink now? Is it vodka?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess. My gut, it isn't as healthy as it used to be. So vodka's easier on it than scotch.
What's your brand of choice?
Well, Absolute, but then I had some other stuff. I can't remember the name of it.
Have you ever had Grey Goose?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, good, because that's what we sent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it should be there. When's that going to be there?
No, I do like it.
Tomorrow?
You sent it?
Yeah, it should be there in a couple of days.
That's great. When I was in Russia for an international conference, and while I was there, I bought some yellow vodka. I forget what creates it, and don't get dirty.
Now, do they make vodka out of corn?
No.
Potatoes? All right. I was just trying to think what would make it yellow.
Yeah, but they had something, and it was more aromatic than normal vodka. So I've got it in my ditty bag, and at one point, and I had some, the Russian stack dolls.
Mm-hmm. I
had them, a beautiful set in the ditty bag as well. And at one point, I'm racing through, and I dropped the ditty bag on the floor to get my passport or whatever. and I heard a clink. And as soon as I got through the customs or whatever it was, and I opened the bag, and yellow vodka was all over that ditty bag, and those Russian dolls, all the paint was just off of them.
That's normally about the time you'll hear me scream like a woman. Yes. When I break a bottle of something.
Yeah, but it had to be alcohol, and naturally it affected the paint. So I had a double whammy.
It's a horrible story.
Yeah.
Don't tell it again.
No, I won't.
You guys got a new governor today. You care either way on that?
I forgot about it until you told me.
So you don't care?
I had an interesting story. My ex-wife's mother died last night at the age of 101. She was staying with my ex-wife. And my son was coming back from San Diego.
I'm guessing he don't care. No.
With his kids from SeaWorld.
Yes.
And they were driving along. All of a sudden, there was a big smell in the car. And he got disturbed. He said, "What is that smell? What is that smell?" And his wife said, "It's menthol." And they couldn't figure out where it was from. So he got home, got a call from the sheriff to come over to my ex-wife's house because she wasn't home and the mother had died. And he got to the house.
I'm really thinking he doesn't care.
And he went into her room, and there was a tremendous smell of menthol in the room. And he asked the night nurse, "What's that smell?" She said, "Oh, it's Vicks or whatever she was using because she had rubbed it on her before she went to bed." And he said, "What time did you put it on?" He said, "About 7:15, which was the point that he smelled the Vicks on his way back from San Diego.
It's a good story.
So you're saying you don't care?
What's that? What'd you say?
So you don't care about the governor thing?
No.
Well, why do you say that to start with? Don't make me listen to the Vicks vapor rub story.
It's an interesting story.
Aren't you impressed at all?
I don't even know what you were saying. I'm waiting. I'm going, okay. The link between that and having a new governor is going to come in.
No, I'm not. I don't care about the new governor. I mean, what am I going to go whoopee-doo on the first day?
I don't know.
Check with me in a year.
I don't know if you feel like you guys are damned or you couldn't care less or you go, hey, you know what, it's bad enough in California. What could he do?
Well, the first problem is going to be he's out to do some deregulating on energy, and that's going to be the first problem. We'll see how that gets straightened out and what the Democrats have to say about that. And because anytime you mention deregulation of energy, after the way we got burned out here by your Enron, I go ballistic.
All right. Yeah, I would think leaving them alone is not necessarily a good idea.
No. I don't want to hear anything about deregulation. So you had a big rain there.
Yeah, I had to drive through it today.
It doesn't compare to our 5.5 inches in 2 hours here the other day.
No, normally we don't get bad stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're a sleepy little southern town.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this really quick before we go. I know from talking before, you were working the day that Kennedy got shot.
Yeah.
How long before the conspiracy rumors started popping up? Do you remember?
Well, I don't know when we started getting the logistics of where Lee Harvey was and the angle of the bullet and the sighting of people in the grassy knoll, and I don't remember the time element, the time frame there.
Because obviously that was a simpler time, and we didn't have the
40 years ago.
Yeah, we didn't have the technology that we do today, and to go back and check the angle of a bullet and whatever.
Well, the biggest, I'm not a mathematician nor a physicist, but I gather there's a very cogent point on the angle of the bullet. Did you ever see the Seinfeld where Keith Hernandez supposedly spits and hits Kramer and Newman, and Jerry diagnoses the trajectory of the spit?
No.
Oh, was that a funny episode? But it shows.
Did they actually go the route of having the lone spitter?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Well, no, the single bullet theory.
Yeah.
You know, of going through Kennedy and then hitting Connolly's knee or whatever it hit, and then coming back and around, bing, 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 bing. And it was a very funny sequence. But the thing that always got me about the Kennedy assassination was the untimely deaths of at least 100 people connected peripherally to various people.
That's right, with the Warren,
involved.
right, the Warren Commission. When that was formed, all of a sudden these different witnesses and people associated with it started to vanish, or horrible things would happen to them.
Yeah. At least 100, and some people say 200.
I just finished, I didn't finish the whole book. I got about 30 pages into it and I got bored. It's called Flight from Dallas, and this airman is flying from someplace and he's trying to get home to Colorado Springs, and they put him on this plane, and I'm shortening this up a lot. On his way to Colorado Springs, the pilot comes on and says the President's been shot. They're on a freight plane. President's been shot. All of a sudden, they land in the Trinity River bottoms here in Dallas. They pick up a guy that looks like Lee Harvey Oswald. They go to Roswell. They let him off there. Nobody ever sees this guy again. And that's the thrust of the book. And then as you read on, it just talks about the guy, the airman, who was on that plane that saw this, and nobody said anything to. They start reassigning him and sending him around the country, and now the CIA wants him to work for him. And nowhere in it does it ever say, hey, that was Lee Harvey Oswald, or it wasn't. He just goes, I think it was. But they said at the time there were a lot of Oswald sightings.
Well, who told? Yeah, I know. I've heard of them, and well, you know, it's just like the Mumia, so-called murder of the cop in Philadelphia. Did anybody ever take? Well, supposedly, I guess Lee shot the cop.
Officer
in the
Tippett.
movie theater.
Was it Tippett?
Yes.
Okay.
Tippett.
Right.
I guess, but did anybody ever take? I mean, they didn't take paraffin testing on Mumia in that killing. They did very incomplete. I don't know if they did any ballistics tests on his gun. And did they ever do any of that with Lee Harvey?
I don't know. In fact, if you were to go and tell somebody this story and leave out all the particular names and then just give the whole rundown on what happened, when it happened, what the bullet did, how many people it went through, everything else, and then the way that it ends to where you don't even get a chance to get Oswald on the stand because some local topless bar guy whacks him in the gut in front of the national television audience. The story doesn't even sound believable.
You couldn't make a movie out of that.
Now, the biggest thing that JD and I will do, we'll drive down to the grassy knoll and throw out firecrackers because you always have visitors out there. And it's always fun to watch them jump.
And also parts of his brain or his parts of his skull were missing from the place where they did the autopsy.
Hold on a second. What, Eddie?
Actually, his whole brain came up missing from...
his entire skull? I mean, brain?
Just the brain, yeah. They had taken it out, and they were going to weigh it to see how much of it was missing or whatever. They have no idea what happened to it. They actually believe somebody kept it as a keepsake, that it'll pop up later in the future. But it was at the Air Force Base.
They'll have it on eBay.
Yeah. All right. We got a break then. All right. We got to run. We just wanted to call and check on you for your birthday since we missed it.
Well, God love you. I don't know if I can wait another year to hear from you.
Well, we'll check back with you over. If we don't talk to you by the end of the year, have a happy Hanukkah.
Well, thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Take care, guys.
All right. That's very lovely, Ed Asner. Very furry nipples. All right. Are we way behind? Okay. We'll be back.
All right.
This is Russ Martin. Call Russ now at 214-787-1053.
Don't use that bumper again. I'm trying to be irritating, but yeah.
It appears to be irritating you.
Yeah, I can't take that. All right. Hi, Gail.
Hi there.
What do you got?
Got KTXA TV, Eastwood Insurance, and Tylock.
Okay, your out cue is to attend.
Win $1,000 in cash instantly from UPN 21. Just watch The King of Queens all this week at 5 p.m. Just watch, dial, and win all this week at 5 p.m. only on UPN 21. Visit Eastwood Insurance online at eastwoodinsurance.com and get a free quote in under a minute. Or call Eastwood Insurance today, 1-800-468-LESS. That's 1-800-468-LESS. It's not LASIK, it's Intra-LASIK. Come and discover the Tylock advantage this Tuesday evening in our free Intra-LASIK seminar at the Tylock Eye Care and Laser Center. Call 972-258-6400 to attend.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Gail. Gail?
Yes, I can't hear anything at all.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Also brought to you by Southwest World Market. Getting ready for holiday entertaining. Save 20% on all wine cabinets at World Market. Come in today for a great-looking selection of styles and sizes in solid hardware. Eastbound I-30 at Dow Rock Road, there's a crash. Northbound Loop 12, Walton Walker at 183, flooding. Eastbound 635 at 75 Central, flooding in the left lane of the High-5. Eastbound 635 at Garland Road, a crash. Westbound 635 at Montfort, there's one. Got a bus involved in a wreck in Oak Cliff on southbound 35 at Marsalis. On eastbound 183 at 360 at Amon, there's a wreck, and also at Amon Carter there's a wreck, and westbound 20 past Bowen Road, the two left lanes have been blocked for a very long time. And this is also brought to you by Avis. Visit their relocated Hearst Avis in the Sears Auto Center at the Northeast Mall. If your car's in the shop or you're working with an insurance company, Avis has what you need. Ask about weekly and weekend specials. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Alternative Talk Station, Live 105.3.
Thank you, Gail. 60 or 52 for the low tonight. Some more showers wherever you are, by the way. Flooding all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area and the KLLI areas tomorrow. A windy and 68 degrees at 62 and raining at Live 105.3.
When did we go to 5 sponsors for the traffic? Because we have 3 at the beginning, and then Gail does, well, that's 4. And Gail does 1 at the end. For a minute traffic report.
Slowly but surely, they've just added more and more. First it was 2, then it was 3, now 4.
Is any of that our fault?
Some of it's just because they schedule it that we're going to do traffic every 20 minutes.
What makes them think that?
I have not.
We've never done traffic every 20 minutes.
They have sponsors through the 4 o'clock hour and the 5 o'clock hour, and we usually do 1 traffic report per hour, and so they get all mixed into 1.
Oh. All right. I'll figure out a way around that. Yes, Matt?
Hey, you guys are talking about the Kennedy, the brain missing. Do you guys want to know any more about that?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Well, the deal, I'll tell you why the brain was important before I tell you what supposedly happened to it. With the brain, there was a process where they could solidify the brain and slice it vertically and trace the trajectory of that bullet so they could tell whether it came from behind him or in front of him.
Okay.
In front of him would be the grassy knoll. Now, that brain was removed from his body when the autopsy occurred in Washington, D.C. It was taken out, it was weighed, and it was marked as evidence. All that evidence was then transferred over to the National Archives. Now, the person who was in charge of the National Archives was the Surgeon General at the time, who was Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy said, I want all the evidence brought over to my office so I can look at it and go through it. All that evidence was brought over, and with that transference came the disappearance of the brain. So the story goes that Robert Kennedy removed or disposed of the brain in order to conceal perhaps the conspiracy theory that will evolve from that evidence so he could keep the idea of Camelot instilled within the Kennedys and not get into the whole mafia and Bay of Pigs thing with his brother's death. So.
Yeah, because everything started coming out, and that's why I asked Ed Asner earlier, at what point did he remember, the conspiracy theories coming out? Because that's all I've ever grown up with was the mafia or the CIA or the LBJ administration. Was Sinatra in there someplace?
Yeah, he was.
I'm not kidding. I think Frank Sinatra was mentioned at one point.
In fact, I think they interviewed him.
There is a Frank Sinatra connection. I don't know that much about it, but there's also a, well, maybe I shouldn't say it, but there's also a Campisi connection too. So. But there are a lot of connections that occurred with it, and I think the strongest so far is just that the Bay of Pigs and the mafia. I mean, the Kennedys got all their money during Prohibition when Joe Kennedy he made all the money during Prohibition, and so a lot of the mafia guys thought that JFK was going to be kind of in their pocket, and when he wasn't, they got pretty upset. And he used to date Sam Gianconna's girlfriend, and the Carlos Martello connection with the Bay of Pigs. I mean, he just had a lot of people that were in power that did not want him in power. So
just makes you wonder how a family that, you know, would be associated with Camelot and all that other stuff would actually grow from that.
Right, that's true. They don't want. That's what he didn't want. He didn't want people to kind of dig up some dirt on his family. That's Robert Kennedy. What I'd say, like to kind of expose them as not having that Camelot facade.
Right. He didn't want He didn't want it to look like a lot of people hated the Kennedys and it was a lone gunman.
Right.
Is that what you're going after?
Yeah,
yes.
Sure. Why not? I mean, have him as a lone the patsy, Lee Harvey Oswald.
All right. Thank you, sir. The guy on line 5 says it was accidental. What? Lee Harvey was just... All right.
Jackie was just tripped.
Yeah.
Gun went off.
Yes, Mason?
Hey, Russ. What this came about was from, I was a Marine after the Gulf War, and I had an instructor that was a big buff on the Kennedy assassination, and we studied different possibilities. And there was a book that was written called Mortal Error.
Okay.
And basically what it says is that Oswald was there, all that happened, but the actual shot that killed Kennedy, that blew his head off, was an accident. From a ballistic standpoint, it actually makes sense, and a lot of the research goes, the guy that wrote the book was actually involved in the Warren Commission.
Right.
Basically what it says is the whole theory of theirs is that the Oswald did it with the lone gunman is based on the shots that he fired and the wounds that Kennedy received. They're trying to make the number of shots fired fit the end wounds. I think it was 3 shots. So they're saying 1 missed, 1 hit the overpass, 1 was the magic bullet,
right,
and then the 3rd one blew his head off. If you take those bullets and 1 hits the overpass, 1 hits Kennedy, the 3rd one makes the other wounds, the 4th bullet comes from behind the limo from the Secret Service, what this guy is saying. And basically he's saying that first shot, they hear it, second shot, it hits Kennedy. By the 3rd shot, they're reacting. The guys behind them were carrying AR-15s in the trail car, and they kind of goes through the what could have happened. And they think that by the time that the 3rd shot was fired...
So what are you saying? They go, hey, Lee Harvey missed, so somebody in the Secret Service pops him in the head?
No, they think that basically what happened is the Secret Service is reacting to this event that's taking place.
Well, that makes more sense.
They're bringing their weapons up going, okay, what's going on? He flips the safety off. The driver of the car is starting to rack. When he guns it, the agent falls back and fires basically the 4th shot. It makes a lot of sense once you look at the book with the evidence and the trajectory and all this kind of stuff. What would be more embarrassing, an assassin or actually a Secret Service agent actually blew the president's head off?
Hold on a second. You ever hear that?
I heard briefly about it. It was disproved rather rapidly. I mean, because
how did they disprove it?
Well, it was just...
I got the book, Russ,
yeah,
that I can email you the guy's name. I've got it at the house I can give you. And it's really once you see all the evidence, because the bullet that supposedly did all this was a full metal jacket, 6.5 millimeter from this Carcano rifle.
Is that right?
It's funny that this bullet that can do all of this damage and it goes through 3 bodies with all the wounds, that magic bullet. The same bullet also, when it hit Kennedy's head, supposedly it disintegrated and blew his head off.
Yeah.
It doesn't really match.
Yeah, I've always had a hard time believing the magic bullet thing. I think Eddie, thanks,
thank
Mason. Both you and Brumley on the same thing, right?
Yeah.
That it was a lone gunman, 1 bullet, and the magic bullet really did all the damage.
Yeah, the thing was the way they draw it out on paper, it looks like it could be a magic bullet, but once you actually see from the 6th floor of the school book depository,
okay,
you can actually see how the road curved. So Kennedy would have been in a certain position when he shot him. It went through Kennedy. It hit absolutely no bone in Kennedy. It clipped part of the muscle around his spine and his nerves. That's what caused when you see him come out from behind, his elbows are straight out.
His fists are in, his elbows are straight out.
His fists are at he's not grabbing at his throat. That's a natural.
Well, that's what it looks like, though. It looks like he was grabbing at his throat. And then about that time, Jackie looks over at him to see what's wrong.
Yeah, but
and the next thing you know, he ain't got no head.
Well, if you look at the actual Zapruder film, his fists are locked. He's not holding anything. His fists are locked and his elbows are out, and that's because of where the bullet hit, just passing his spine.
Okay, so that one went through
him, and because it didn't hit anything but meat on him, it went straight through the back of the seat. And
okay.
hits Connolly, goes through a rib, hits his wrist, and ends up in his leg.
All right.
And that's the magic bullet that they supposedly found. And they said ballistically, because the bullet passing through Meek slowed down, passing through Connolly, even though it smashed a rib's pretty thin.
Right.
And it just grazed the rib to smash it. When it hit his wrist, broke his wrist, and then bounced off and landed in his leg, they go, if you follow that bullet, that's one path that goes straight through both men, just because of the way the car was turning.
Okay, that's one of the bullets. That's not the bullet that popped his skull.
That's not the bullet that popped his skull. The bullet that popped his skull, they said, was actually the easiest shot that Oswald had all day, because the first one he missed as Kennedy's car is rounding the corner, he was directly over him, so you can't compensate. Something that close, it's hard to compensate when it's moving from you.
Okay.
So he was aiming almost straight down, and they've actually found the part of the curb where it hit the curb.
Really?
Bounced off.
All right, the first one he missed.
Yeah.
Second one went through Kennedy and the lockup thing, and then the third one was the skull.
And the third one, if you watch, when he's got his elbows locked up, when the third one hits his head, that's the first time his elbows drop, because that actually, once it severed the brain, it cut all communication to the rest of his body. But it hit on what they call a stress fracture in your skull. Everybody has them.
Right.
And the way it hit, if you watch the Zapruder film and slow it down in slow motion, you can actually see the flap of skull open up.
I don't think I'd like that.
Well, it just completely covers up the side of his face. The whole back side of his head opens up, but everything that comes out of his head goes forward. And they say,
what does that mean? Because I know back and forth. The shot came from this way or this way. The way the head reacted.
If I shoot you, unlike in movies, if I shoot you right now, nothing's going to spray back at me in the forward. Everything's going to go from behind you out.
Okay.
Okay.
Forward motion.
Yeah.
As it's going through me, it's going to take everything that happens and go the direction of the bullet.
Yes, and it'll end up on the wall back over there. And if you watch you can see pieces of his skull and blood, and everything goes forward. But they say that was the easiest shot, because if you also look at the Zapruder film, the driver of the limo had almost completely stopped and turned all the way around in his seat right as the last bullet hit. They said the limo was going less than 5 miles an hour.
Okay, so the first two shots shock the driver. He stops to see what's going on. Third shot's when he gets hit.
He turns around. Just as he turns around and looks Kennedy dead in the face, his head explodes. And then he flips back around and starts to gun the car. And that was why they disproved what happened with the Secret Service, because by that point there was a Secret Service man on the bumper of the car.
Yeah, because Jackie was going after the brain, and the Secret Service guy's coming up.
Yeah. It's just.
Do you think she was really going after the head, or she was just trying to get out? Me, I'd have been trying to get out.
Yeah. Now, you just said everything went forward. What ended up on the trunk?
Well, when he starts gunning the car, everything starts going backwards. That's why everybody assumed that she was trying to get out of the car, that she wasn't actually trying to grab something, but she said she maintained, I saw something I needed to grab, or part of his brain. I don't think I could have reacted like that. Something pops off. I don't think I'm going to have the presence of mind of thinking he's probably going to need that at the dinner thing tonight. Well, they had to scoop up a lot of it at Parkland Hospital, because when they pulled him out of the car, they flipped him over on his back, and a lot of brain matter actually fell out on the ground. They had photos of it and everything where it just fell out right on the side of the car. And he was dead. He was
dead when he got hit. Yeah. They just had to make an effort
to save him and stuff. Right. And that's where the whole tracheotomy thing came from. They cut right where the bullet hole was and put a trach in there to try to get him breathing again. And it was, it's like you said, they had to show something that they were trying to, try to save his life.
I wonder how long it was from the point of the assassination before the film came out.
The Zapruder film took a while. It actually did, because, Adrian.
Because it would have been easier for them. They wouldn't have known anybody was there to to film it. So obviously they're going to go under the guise of, we'll try and cover this up, because who really saw everything that happened?
Right.
Well, and
so they made the effort to try and make it look like they saved his life. Because normally, if you got brains coming out when you get out of the car, you ain't good.
That's not good.
What?
But they, in the Zapruder film, you also see a lady across the street filming it at the same time, and I've never been able to find that lady's film.
I thought that film was available. It's a different, back towards the grassy knoll, isn't it?
No, the one that you're talking about actually shows the front side of the school book depository. It was shot further back after Kennedy rounded the corner, but he had already taken the camera off of that and was going around. But you can't. It was one of those deals where they were trying to say, well, if you look here, you can see somebody over in the grassy knoll and stuff. But it was real fast, real grainy. It's all 8mm stuff, so it was really, really grainy. But this lady, they've never found out who she was or what she shot.
Well, you can see her on the film.
She was right in front of the limo filming when he got hit, the last shot.
All right. So your theory then that bullet went through, did all that damage, but they showed the bullet later and it was like pristine.
Bullets are, it seems weird, but I've done some weird stuff with bullets. I've shot deer and blown their heads almost completely off, hitting the spine. and found the bullet laying there.
Really?
And it just had absolutely, a couple of nicks here and there. So, I mean, it's ballistically, it's just weird. Bullets don't always behave the same way.
This whole thing just has fiction written all over it, just the way it plays out. And the one guy that could answer a lot of questions gets shot in the gut by a topless bar owner. And then this book that this guy wrote, I was thinking about having him on, but
that's so ridiculous.
Well, it's
landed a cargo plane in the Trinity River bottoms. Wouldn't land it.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, normally with these books, they send a quick synopsis. I wish I had looked at that because it's a page and a half long, and everything that I read was in that page and a half that they sent. And it's just the fact that the guy said it was very strange. It was an unmarked freight plane, and he was trying to get to Dallas for the holidays. It was November 22nd, and this guy at the airport, military installation, says, that thing's taken off, you can go get on that. And he goes up, it looks like a military plane, no markings, no nothing. He gets on, there's the pilot, the co-pilot, nobody else on the thing's empty. So you got this shell that's flying to Colorado, all of a sudden the pilot comes on, and in the book, he says, the pilot says, very matter of fact, the president's been shot. Mm-hmm. Next thing he knows, they're veering south, they land into the Trinity River bottoms. This guy gets on, little short guy. Obviously, the guy that wrote this book doesn't think anything about it at the time. Then he's watching TV later, sees Lee Harvey get shot, and goes, hey, that looks like the guy that was on the plane.
Doesn't think anything about that. He's landing a black airplane.
He said he didn't want to ask any questions because nobody was saying anything. And you can read the book if you want. It's a
short read there.
Actually, it's not even 80. Let me see.
That makes no sense at all. Why would the pilot would come on the PA? First of all, it's for one person.
I don't know. I didn't read the book. It's about 107 pages, and a good portion of it is documents like this. Mm-hmm. Just the guy's service records, so that he's not a nut. And some of the documents where the CIA had him reassigned to different parts of the country because they wanted him to go to work for them, and he said, I don't want to. Eddie, why don't you take that home and read it? Maybe I missed something. How long before we need a break? All right. Go ahead, Gary. Carrie.
Yeah, Russ. I just wanted to say against the lone gunman theory, the most glaring, obvious facts are the two motorcycle police that were following the limousine. As soon as the shooting occurred, and when the Secret Serviceman was jumping up on the back of the limo, they immediately turned their motorcycles. Both of them tried to ride up the grassy knoll. They jumped the curb. One of them crashed immediately, drew his pistol, and advanced up the grassy knoll. The other one rode almost to the top before he dropped his bike deliberately, jumped off. They both drew their pistols, advanced into the bushes there behind the fence, and they were looking for a shooter. They saw a muzzle flash. Both of them had been sprayed in the face with blood and brains and bone, and both of them were killed in the line of duty within the next 3 months.
See, that's the other. Well, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about, so shut up. What is he talking about?
There's a lot of these stories popped up 10 years after it all happened, and it was usually around some book deal. I mean, there were a ton of stories of who saw what, but all the films that they've ever reviewed and stuff like that, I mean, actual news footage of it happening, people did run to the grassy knoll. They were trying to get away. Everybody that heard the shot pointed at the school book department.
Yeah, normally I see a muzzle flash. That's not something that's attractive to me.
I don't run up the hill toward it.
Right. And it's not like I'm a fly and it's a no-pest strip and I got to go see what's going on. All right, go ahead.
Well, if you watch the films of them, people are actually running with their children up towards the fence in the grassy knoll.
I would be running away from wherever I heard it.
And that's what they figure most of them were doing, because it's, I mean, you've seen it before, how close it is to the school book depository. They heard the shots. That was an automatic escape route away from the street, away from everything else.
Away from the president.
Yeah, up through the grass and out through the back parking lot. So, I mean, it was just, there were a lot of people, and they said that was the sad part, where there were people that they interviewed that day that didn't remember anything, and then came back 10 years later and they remembered in fine detail, some guy wearing with a pockmarked face, wearing a certain kind of jacket.
With an umbrella?
Leaning over the fence. Well, the guy with the umbrella was real. They actually, he opened his umbrella as a protest, and they had him during.
Didn't they say at one point that was some kind of cue, if now the time's to shoot, when he opened the umbrella?
Yeah, and they called him in front of a congressional hearing, and he had the umbrella and everything, the whole 9 yards, and they asked him what it was, and he said, I was protesting the president's stand on certain things, and he was from a different country. It had nothing to do with anything, and that was just a protest for him. And he had the umbrella with him. He opened it up. He goes, "There's no hidden guns, no nothing." They knew exactly who the guy was. And
but all the stuff with the Warren Commission, with witnesses and people associated with this thing, they really started to die, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
it was an inordinate amount of people.
But it wasn't like immediately. It wasn't within 5 years or 6 years. There were a lot of them that died within 20 years, and there were a lot of them that were 60 or 70 years old. So, I mean, and the majority of them were natural causes. There were a lot of car wrecks, and they went back through, and they said statistically, for the amount of people that they interviewed, for the amount of people that actually died, that's not any different than if you went out just on the street and interviewed that many people for anything.
Right. And I think when LBJ set up the Warren Commission, they had already decided that Lee Harvey was the one that did it, and they were just going to go back and fill in all the pieces.
Yeah, well, I mean, his own brother went and visited him in jail, and his brother said, I'm 100% sure that he did it. He goes, he would never answer me when I asked him. He said, but he just gave me that smarmy grin, like, I just did something that you'll find out later. And he said that he was sure that Oswald was wanting to go to trial, wanting to do the whole thing. I mean, he was just that kind of a person. 2 weeks earlier, he tried to kill a general in his own house.
Oswald?
Yeah, he rode a bus with the same rifle to the general's house, peeked over the fence, shot at him, missed him, jumped back, hid the rifle, got back on the bus and went back home, and came back a couple days later and got the rifle back. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was a nut. If you read his life story, it matches to somebody that would hang out of a school book depository and shoot at the president.
Okay. All right. You say yes, we need a break?
Please.
All right. We'll be back. That's the wrong button.
The Russ Martin Show.
Missed any part of this Russ Martin Show? Hear a repeat on the overnight broadcast, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. on the Alternative Talk Station, live 105.3.
Is it all of them?
Yeah.
The one that says 150 through 225?
That's it.
All right. Which one I want to look at first? There's a motorcade coming in.
227 is where they come out from behind the sign.
All right, hold on.
And his hands are starting to go up. 228, his hands are all the way up.
That looks like it's holding his throat. But both arms, you're right, both arms are up.
Straight out.
And if you see the hands are in fists, they're not like opened up where they're grabbing his throat.
Yeah, I suppose. And it looks like Jackie's starting to turn to look there. Conley doesn't know anything that's going on yet. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's frame 228.
Conley's turning around about 239. He's starting to turn, and she's all the way turned.
There's some guy waving. Oh, yeah, I see his arms up now in frame 230.
Yep.
In fact, one of them's up over his mouth as you're looking at it. He's not covering his mouth, but that's how high it went. I never looked at these before. It's 238.
By 240, the limo driver's turning around, and Conley is wincing from the bullet. So he's turning too.
All right, there's Conley turning around. Jackie's looking over at Kennedy. I believe that they, wasn't Jerry Haynes a reporter back when this was going on?
I believe he was, yeah.
Dan, give me Mr. Peppermint on the phone. Thank you. There's Conley turning.
Yeah.
What frame does his head come off?
I'm not sure. I haven't got that far.
Conley's mouth is open at 244.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip ahead. I ain't got time for all this. All right, it ain't 257. It's 258. I bet it's coming. 260?
Nope, not yet. Not
I'm
even
going down to 268. I bet it's 269. No, that ain't it. 271.
Close.
Isn't it where he gets close to that pole?
I think it just says he comes out from behind the pole.
Oh.
Should be about 279.
All right.
Nope.
Damn, this takes forever. All right, why don't you go ahead and start news? Because you're not really adding anything to the program. It ain't 289. Oh. I ain't got time to look at this anymore. Take this and we'll start news. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, I got a question for Eddie. If it's the second and third shot that hit him and not the first one, I guess my question is, what kind of rifle was he using? Wouldn't it have taken some time for him to reload it? I mean, wouldn't the president have had time to duck a little bit or something, get out of the way?
Well, number one, assuming that the president heard it and knew what was happening, probably not, but it was a bolt action that held 5
What do you think he's going to do? Bob his head back and forth?
Well, maybe lean down in his wife's lap or something. Get out of the way. I mean, a shotgun's pretty damn loud.
Yeah, somebody should have said that. The Secret Service's fault. He should just get out of the way.
Don't look at 313 or 314.
Fireworks. Man, his head just
314's the bad one.
His head just explodes. Is that his brain right there?
Yes.
God. That's his brain?
That's the flap coming where it actually...
That's a protective coating before you get to his brain?
Yeah, it's the skull and flap of hair that just kind of fell forward.
Wow. Where's the part where it flies on the trunk? I don't think it's in this section. No. I just wondered if they would have been able to figure anything out had this guy not had the film.
Doubt it. Probably not. And then you would have, the conspiracy theories would have really been able to take off. And the film was actually instrumental in the Warren Commission's and every commission since then's discernment as to what happened. Because there were just certain things wouldn't match up. And they had, What about the thing where they said nobody could fire off 3 shots that quick with a bolt-action rifle? That was proven untrue several times. They had marksmen go out there that used the same rifle, same scope, and were actually pulled off better shots than Oswald did.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was a whole bunch of stuff. They were just assuming Oswald was a Marine. I mean, he was trained to shoot. And that Marines, when you go into the Marines, that's one of the things they're proud of. Oswald, all these people that were notorious killers.
I heard he was a pretty bad marksman, though, from his...
Obviously not.
Well, that's what they said.
Well, obviously not.
Well, on his military record, it said he was.
Maybe he was faking it.
Okay.
But they got film here that shows he's probably better than they thought.
Eddie says his kid could have got off that shot.
Sure, it runs in Eddie's family. Did you go up to the 6th floor?
Yes.
Is it an easy shot from there?
Oh, absolutely. I was disgusted when I looked down. I was like going, and they have the little X in the road.
Right.
I was like going, I mean, you could literally, anybody with a handgun could have pulled off that shot with a handgun and not needed a high power rifle.
Okay. All right. Do I want to take line 2 before we start? Before we go to news? Yes? All right. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I've met Mr. Boyd several times, and he is very knowledgeable on weaponry. But I was just curious.
All right, bye.
540, J.D. Ryan's on Live 105.3.
Thank you, Russ. Brought to us by Crown Royal.
Crown Royal, blended Canadian whiskey, imported by the Crown Royal Company, Stamford, Connecticut. 40% alcohol by volume. Enjoy our quality responsibly, but don't drink if you're under 21.
By Service King Collision Repair Center in Irving, Airport Freeway. Eddie will be there on Thursday. Lunch from Applebee's there in Irving. He'll be there from... Once again, doesn't.
When are you going to be there, Eddie?
11 to 1.
Thank you. Jury convicted John Allen Muhammad of capital murder today, concluding that he used a rifle, a beat-up car, and a teenager who idolized him to kill randomly and terrorize the Washington area during last year's sniper spree. The jury will now decide whether the Army veteran should be sentenced to death or life in prison. That phase started this afternoon. A company in the U.S. now claims it has invented a powder that can be used to remove clouds from the sky and even stop development of hurricanes. The Florida-based company, Dynomat, used a military aircraft to drop 4 tons of its powder on a developing cloud. The cloud disappeared from radar screens that were monitoring it. Officials from the company, which produces material to absorb pollutants such as oil and acids, say they used a specially developed powder that absorbs large amounts of water. The water is then turned into gel before it falls out of the sky. Company says.
Well, what happens is obviously the gel's going to have to come down in clumps.
Yeah, it comes down in the ocean.
Oh, in the ocean.
Right. It's completely biodegradable and breaks down in seawater.
All right, that makes sense. Hurricanes don't form over land.
No.
All right, go ahead.
The man who tried to assassinate President Reagan is trying to persuade a federal judge to allow him to visit his parents without being accompanied by staff from the psychiatric hospital where he has lived for more than 2 decades. We're talking about John Hinckley Jr., of course. He's been a patient in St. Elizabeth's since his acquittal by reason of insanity in the shooting of Reagan and 3 others outside a Washington hotel.
Wait a minute, so he wants to be turned loose or just to go visit his family?
Wants to visit his parents without hospital people being around. Wants to be
Well, how
free.
could he do that?
That's what he wants.
Well, if he got off based on insanity, then you got to be insane.
They say he's better now.
Okay.
That's what the hospital staff is saying.
All right, if he's better, then he'd go to prison.
Should.
Okay.
But he was acquitted. I don't know. You're right. Ron Reagan Jr. said basically the same thing. Maybe if John Hinckley isn't sane anymore, he needs to go to prison and then reflect on what he did.
Yeah. So what do they think? I'm better now. Can I go?
Basically. Well, he doesn't want to get out forever. He just wants to go visit his parents without the hospital staff being there. He's done that a couple of times.
They've let him out on his own?
With the hospital staff, yes.
And what if he decides to bolt?
I don't know.
You just chunked your teeth. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Mickey Mouse, his birthday's coming up. He arrived on the stage 75 years ago, and tomorrow, 75 years ago tomorrow, as a scrawny but buoyant black and white product of the jazz age. Basically Steamboat Willie on November 18th, 1928. The film at New York's Colony Theater showed an irreverent rodent who takes Captain Pete's steamboat on a joyride and woos Minnie Mouse by making music on the body of various farm animals. For Roy E. Disney, whose uncle Walt Disney created the character, Mickey Mouse is this friendly little guy, which is Walt's words for describing him. He's also the most merchandised face ever, $4.5 billion a year in sales, even though he's currently second to Winnie the Pooh for the Disney company. Paris Hilton says she never thought that sex video she made with her ex-boyfriend would ever become public.
How do you decide the importance of your stories as you read them?
You just try to start off with something national and then kind of go to entertainment type stuff.
Just curious.
Why?
I'm just trying to follow the pattern here.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Hurricane.
Yes.
Let's see. Murder guy.
Mickey Mouse.
Reagan.
Sex tape. I'm just trying to get a handle on it. I don't want you to explain anything else. I want to figure it out on my own. You keep going.
Well, this is sort of entertainment.
Don't tell me anything.
Okay. She never thought it would be made in public. She said it was an intimate relationship and never, ever thought any of these things would be made public. The heiress of the Hilton Hotel fortune made a homemade video with the then boyfriend, Richard Solomon, 3 years ago. Snippets have been sent, of course, to the media and to around the World Wide Web. Solomon contends that the tape was stolen, and the copies were made and circulated by an acquaintance without his permission or knowledge.
And there's supposed to be another tape floating around now with her and a Playboy Playmate?
Yes. And another guy.
Really?
Yeah, they were in Vegas, and supposedly she had just broken up with her boyfriend the day before or something, and she was in Vegas, got really ripped, and took them all back to her room and videotaped the whole thing. That she videotaped it.
Chick sounds like a little whore.
Mm-hmm.
How old is she, 19?
She's 23 now.
The Hilton chick?
Yeah.
She was 19.
Oh. All right, go ahead.
And finally, women over 45 are just too sleepy for sex. In a recent national study made by the makers of supplements for menopausal women, 50% of ladies over 45 or older said they'd rather get more sleep than more sex. 30% said they couldn't choose. As women reach menopausal age, one of the main problems they experience is difficulty sleeping. That's why many more of them would rather have sleep than have sex.
That's because nature no longer needs them in the reproductive game.
No.
That's what you're correct. That's why God puts hair on chicks when they hit menopause. So we're not attracted to them.
So you know which ones not to bother with.
It's the bad fruit. That's the way that you know that it's gone bad.
And then God makes them sleepy, so they want sex.
Yeah, there's no way for them to have sex and waste our time. You don't sit there and blow your load in a dead flower.
That's true. Makes a lot of sense. News and information brought to us by Car Toys. Brandon would opening up in South Lake. I'll be there Saturday from 2 to 4. I'm J.D. Ryan. 105.3.
I'm not really sure what he's laughing at. Was it the Car Toys? Hold on. Was it the load in the dead flower? Okay. What? I have to know now.
I know.
Is this going to last for a bit? All right, then.
No.
I think he actually... Did you just cough something up? I wish I could figure out what it is that always pushes him over. I got some of them.
Yeah.
He likes a good joke. Yeah. He'll laugh at those. And really, who doesn't? But some of the things that pushes him over, I just don't get it. And I'll bet you, if we stop and ask him, it's really got nothing to do with what I said. Watch. Okay. Did it?
Yes, it caught me by surprise.
All this serious talk about death and the Kennedys, and you go right over to blowing your load in a dead flower, you know.
All right. I think it's just checking. All right, Dandy. Were you done?
I'm finished.
We'll be back.
This is Russ Martin. Call Russ now at 214-787-1053.
All right. Where's Gail? There she is. Hi, Gail.
Hi there.
Let me see. Your out cue, I see, is UPN 21.
Okay.
Here we go.
Expedia.com, making it easy to find the trip you're looking for. Expedia.com. Don't just travel. Travel right. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Win $1,000 in cash instantly from UPN 21. Just watch The King of Queens all this week at 5 p.m. Just watch, dial, and win all this week at 5 p.m. Only on UPN 21.
Can't hear nothing.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. On northbound 635 and Highway 80, there's a tractor-trailer that broke down in the left center lane in Mesquite. In Dallas, on southbound 35 Simmons at Harry Hines, a crash. In Fort Worth, southbound 35 at Pappert, there's a wreck. In Forney, both directions of Highway 80 affected at FM 740, the left lane in both of those directions. And this also brought to you by KFC. Right now at KFC, pick up a 12-piece bucket of original recipe or extra crispy chicken for $9.99. To get your hands on the bucket, you got a KFC What's Cooking. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Alternative Talk Station, Live 105.3.
Thank you, Gail. Going to be about 62 for the low tonight. Maybe the clouds finally moving off to the east. Some wind coming in tomorrow, 68 for the high. It is 62 currently, Live 105.3.
You do for your birthday. Oh, hang on a second. Eddie, are you in position?
Yes, I am.
Hope the thing doesn't cut out. He's got to light him. Here we go. Well, that wasn't very good. That was the traffic chicks.
Yeah.
Normally, they're easy to rattle, and I saw that they were still here, so I sent Eddie back to get them. All right, I don't like that. You figure the chicks, they would have screamed for a while. Right. Billy the kid over at Wild is the one. We have more? What'd they do?
Just screamed and then slammed the door on me.
Oh. Will those fit up underneath the door?
Yeah.
Take the two-way and go do it again. And the great thing is they can't do anything about it because we can just shoot them under the door.
Locked in.
They normally have us on back there, don't they?
Yes.
We're coming. We'll wait on Eddie. Did you have a good time over the weekend?
Had a blast.
Good. Anytime you're ready.
I'm almost there.
Hey, what's the extension back? Don't do anything just yet. What's the extension back there? Eddie. Eddie aboard. Eddie aboard. Stand ready. Stand down. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stand down. What do you say when you don't? All right. What's the number, Dan?
The extension is 531.
Line 12's not intercom, is it? What about line 11?
You have to dial the whole thing.
531?
Mm-hmm. Whole number. 5.
What?
Then whatever the last 3 digits
Oh,
were.
is it line 7? He's got him.
This is Susan.
What are you doing?
Russell, that was so not cool.
I'm sorry. Go, Eddie, go. What are you doing now?
Breathing fumes.
Is it bad back there?
Yes, it's bad back here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Our office is the size of a cracker box.
Oh, damn.
Okay, that's enough.
Not really. She cussed, so I don't know what got out on the air. Damn. It's kind of fun. I like the fact that they're trapped. They can't go anywhere. Eddie.
Yes.
Do you have more?
Yes, somebody was crying.
Oh, like bad crying?
Yes.
Oh, that's... All right, just do 2 more.
No more. No more. No more, Eddie. What's the matter with you? No more.
They don't really cry.
Crying. They're crying.
Susan, that's who is it back there? Susan and Shauna? No. They're not crying.
Eddie said they are.
Philip, get over it. Can you get them back on the phone? Eddie, don't do anything till I find out if they're really crying.
Okay.
Lady, I'll tell you about my evening with Harry Connick Jr. when we're done.
Good. They not answering? If they'll answer, I won't do it. Is she on the phone? All right. Hey. Who's back there crying?
My daughter, Shelley.
Oh, I didn't know your daughter was in there. How old is she?
10. She is so scared.
I didn't know.
Terrorizing a child.
Hold on a second. Can you send her out of the room for a minute?
Yes.
All right.
Go in the conference room, Shelley.
Mommy, you're scared.
Way to go.
I didn't know there was a kid back there. When did this turn into daycare?
It's after 5:30.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know everybody's bringing their kids up here.
Well, sometimes we have to do that.
Well,
to get the job done.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that there was a child back there. We'll bring her some nice gift.
Good prize pack.
We'll find something. All right. We got anything from condoms to go?
No. You have lots of things from condoms to go. Nothing appropriate for a 10-year-old.
Dash and grow into it.
No. Dr. Pepper t-shirts we have.
All right. All right, Eddie, let it go. I mean, don't do it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that there was a kid back there.
I know. Well, Eddie could have mentioned that the first time when he came back. Hey, there's a kid back there.
Oh. I suppose. All right, so what happened with... I feel like a complete now. Mommy, I don't want to go out. All right, go ahead. What happened at Harry Connick?
I went to get with Harry Connick and...
Dan, do we have anything in the office for kids?
We have Billy Lee Davis CDs.
No, we've done enough damage.
Dr. Pepper t-shirts.
What is it with you guys and the Dr. Pepper t-shirts?
Well, you're thinking something appropriate. That's about all we have for kids.
We don't have anything else in the...
I think it's got something up.
I didn't know that there was a little girl in there. I'll go back there in a little bit.
And we have a stuffed dog over here.
Yeah, give her the stuffed dog.
Okay.
Catch a bottle rocket.
No.
We're going to have to give it to her now. I'll take it back there in a minute.
Okay.
Set it on fire, throw it at her. All right, so what happened to Harry Connick?
Nothing. I didn't know it was his holiday tour. It was all Christmas music. Mostly. There's a little jazz thrown in, New Orleans type jazz that he's big for, but it got to the weather outside is frightful. It was time for me to go.
How many songs in was that?
Well, we got there late.
Okay.
And I only
so you thought maybe you just came in on the Christmas set?
This is the set, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And then he had the computers all failed on his band, so they couldn't play.
Okay.
So he had to talk for like 10 minutes. And finally went, all right, well, back into it. Let's get back into the Christmas spirit. And you can almost hear the audience go, He goes, well, thanks for sticking with the theme. It is my holiday tour.
Did it say that on the ticket?
It did not say that on the ticket.
Did it say that anywhere?
I never saw it.
Well, how would you know that?
I wouldn't. And then he went into weather's outside, and I said, let's book.
How long were you there?
Maybe 6 songs, 5.
You drove all the way out there for a half an hour?
Yeah, it's not that far from me.
No.
I live in mid-cities.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Always have. I went to Cowboys in Arlington for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I saw my buddy out there, Gavin, and then went to the Big Apple. And that's where they tried to kill me with shots.
Oh, is that where you got drunk, started dancing naked?
Who told you that?
I got emails about it. Nobody on this show can go anywhere without somebody ratting them out. Especially you.
It's supposed to be
and
a Apple.
Everybody knows you hang out there.
I guess.
But all right, so were you naked?
No, I just had my shirt open. Just dancing.
The way the email read, your dancing does. They weren't doing karaoke, right?
They were doing partly karaoke. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, then they said you were naked.
I wasn't naked. They're throwing me out.
No, they wouldn't.
Oh, they would.
At any point, did your ass come out?
No.
Your entire ass?
Not that I remember.
Okay. So it could have.
Not that I remember. Joy drove me home.
Okay. So that was Friday night.
Yeah. Saturday we went to a casino up in Oklahoma, just right over the Oklahoma border.
What are them, Choctaw?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay.
But inside, man, you wouldn't know it. It looks like a real casino.
They have any Indians there?
Not that I saw.
Why they call it Choctaw?
I think it's owned by the Indians. That's some reservation.
Right.
Yeah, but it's 1 mile over the border. It's a lot closer than Shreveport. You're going to lose money anyway. Might as well be less of a drive. Yeah.
Is it nicer or as nice as Shreveport?
Inside it is. There's no games. There's no 21 or any of that stuff.
Right. It's just all slot machines?
It's all slot machines. The way they get around it is there's a little bingo card up at the top of every video screen. So you're playing regular slot machines, but there's a little bingo card up there. So technically, you're playing bingo.
I don't get it. I understand that
it's a way to get around the law.
How did Indians get tied in with bingo?
Because bingo is considered gambling, and for the longest time, there's so many states that don't allow gambling outside of. Used to be just.
Do you mean bingo's not considered gambling?
Bingo is considered gambling.
All right.
Okay, and because you had to be a nonprofit organization to do it, to get away with it, churches and stuff like that.
Bingo, right.
Indians it was a natural progression for them because on Indian land, they can do whatever they want to.
Well, I don't understand. If they can do anything they want, why the bingo card on the slot machine?
That I don't understand. I mean, that was part of their deal.
And if they can do anything they want, why bingo? Why not?
Yeah,
full-blown casinos.
A lot of them actually have that. I mean, where you go in and it's casino from front to back. I don't know that particular one. Maybe it's not actually on Indian land, that it's just owned by that Indian tribe.
Oh, okay.
It's real cool. They'll get 3 restaurants and a bunch of games. It was cool.
You stay there?
We did not. There's no place to stay. It's just it looks like a tent actually from the outside, but inside it's beautiful.
Okay,
very nice. And we drove back home Sunday. Watched the Cowboy game. That's all. Nice, great, wonderful weekend. We kicked off with the band on Friday with the high school band.
Our high school band.
Yeah, it was very nice. Thank you again.
And at no point they said this is going to be an entire evening of Christmas music.
Not that I saw anywhere. I looked at the tickets again. I looked at the door when we were walking out. Didn't say anything. My holiday tour. It never said that. Oh, wow. Obviously, he's got a holiday CD coming out.
Well, so
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Jim.
JD, I was there, and it was a holiday tour on the tickets, on the posters.
I'll show you my tickets.
And besides that, you come in late and someone has to sit behind your head.
Well, what's that got to do with that? With the Christmas music?
Well, you come in late.
Well, what does that have to do with the Christmas music? I'm going to make him sit in.
It said holiday tour on everything.
What does that have to do with sitting behind JD?
He came in late and somebody had to sit behind him.
That's got nothing to do with the Christmas music.
Well, no, of course not.
Well, what does that have to do with this?
Well, the Christmas music was listed as a holiday tour on everything.
Well, but then you said he came in late and somebody had to sit behind him. What does that have to do with nobody knew that it was a Christmas thing?
Nothing.
Well, why did you bring it up?
I added it.
It's not funny.
Okay.
Maybe I had special tickets and I didn't say it. Anyway, whatever. It was a good show. Other than that.
Well, how would you know? You left after 6 songs.
All 6 songs.
It's like when I got yacked there at Eric Clapton concert. He was doing nothing but blues. Now, one of his songs, I think he probably did I Shot the Sheriff. I don't know because I didn't hang around. Mm-hmm. But that was an old blues song. Song after song. I have no idea what's going on. We bought tickets. The chick I was dating at the time really loved Clapton. I went, all right, I'll go. I don't like concerts, but I'll go. Ain't nothing like a secondhand. Nobody was even smoking dope. So you couldn't even get a contact high. Song after song. I don't know this one. I don't know that one. They keep bringing out different guitars. Like I said before, I figured, okay, that's the hit guitar. That's guitar. I'm going to hear a song that I know. Nothing. And finally, I spotted somebody with a concert shirt that said nothing but the blues. That's when we got up and left. So did you dance naked or not?
I didn't dance naked.
Email said,
I remember.
The email said you were dancing naked.
Totally
they said on a table, and I'm not making this up. How did I know about everything else in the karaoke?
I didn't get on a table. They wouldn't let me do that there. I had my shirt open. I remember that. I'll ask Joy. She would have reminded me. Somebody would have told me.
All right. Nothing else went on?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Your weekend?
That's kind of a blur. I do Saturday. Hung out with Luddy Saturday night. Some kind of animal rescue group. Oh, that's right. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
So there was a Saturday night event with the Stanley Cup. I finally got to see it after, when did I run naked on the tollway? 99?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
When did they win the Stanley Cup? Was it that year? Yeah, when I said I would run if they would won the Stanley Cup. So that's the first time I've seen it. Ain't no big deal. So I got a picture with that. Sunday I went out on their poker run with the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
Then I drove out to Garland because the Garland police were having a Toys for Toy run.
Okay.
And it was a 35-mile trek, moving at 20 miles an hour.
Jesus.
It was kind of cool, though, because I showed up. I got there late because I was at one thing and then went to the thing in Garland.
Right.
They were getting ready to leave, and there were like 16 motorcycle officers that start the thing, and then the rest were Harleys.
Mm-hmm.
The thing in its entire length was, I think they said the length of the parade was almost 8 miles.
Damn.
So they stuck me in right behind the motorcycle cops. So it was like having another police escort. And we drove through, I can't tell you everywhere we drove. Through Garland, I believe at one point Levon, I think Rockwall was in there someplace, all at 20 miles an hour.
Great. They raised a lot of money?
Somebody said 30 grand.
Excellent, that's great.
And 1,500 Harleys, I think. But we were moving so slow, I flipped on the TV, watched Die Hard on Channel 33 the whole time.
You're just bored.
Yeah. Other than that, that was my entire weekend. Yeah, I'm sure at one point I got drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I think I screwed somebody.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't know who?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do.
Who is it? Some new chick.
Okay.
Nobody you know?
Okay. It's not the eye chick. Eye doctor chick?
Optometrist chick is over?
That's over.
Yeah.
Okay. Just ask him.
I never told you guys that?
You never said it was over. You said it to her on the air because she didn't show up that night that it was over.
She didn't. That was it. That was over. Okay. I don't have time to negotiate with somebody. You want to see me? You want to make plans with me? If it's the next night and you say yes, you be there. They don't tell me later you thought it was a joke. If you think it's a joke, call me the next day and go, hey, were you joking? She didn't do any of that. And she didn't show up Tuesday night, so it had to be over. You can't let chicks get away with stuff like that. You can't.
Okay. Clearly you know what you're doing. You already have another one sleeping with you.
So?
That's good. Happy for you.
Oh, hang on. Dan, did you get a hold of Fettner?
Yeah, you want me to give him a call?
Yeah, if he's still in.
Sure.
I'm really thinking about a reversal of my vasectomy.
Why?
I just am.
Why in God's name would you want to do that? Is that anything to do with L.A.?
No.
Okay.
The whole L.A. thing is shtick.
You don't want kids?
I don't know that now. If I get in, I want to find out. What are you making the face for?
I just never heard you say that.
Well, I don't know now.
What changed?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Just kind of hit me. I thought, you know what? Maybe that's what's missing. A family. Maybe that'll make me grow up. I don't know.
Family, bunch of cash, sleep. That's all things that we will be missing.
Well, isn't the payoff on a kid equal to all of that?
It is really.
Okay.
It's hard
well,
to
stop
tell.
being flippant about it. I'm talking about bringing another life into this world, and you're being flippant. This is a big step for me.
It's a ridiculously big step. I can't believe you do it. It's real surgery. It's not like, the snip.
I understand. He goes back in and connects the vases back together. So what?
Okay.
Obviously, it's a big enough deal to me.
Obviously.
To where I want to look into the reversal and see how effective it can be.
That's a huge step, man.
Dr. Fettner?
Yes, sir.
What's the success rate on the reversal?
Let me switch the topic a minute.
All right.
That Eddie knows a lot about that Kennedy assassination.
Can we talk about my balls for a minute?
Well, yeah. But listen, that gunshot wound to his neck was enough to kill him.
Okay, so even before they got him in the head, he would have been dead.
Carrico that did the intubation on Kennedy.
What is that?
Carrico was the attending surgeon.
No, what was it that he performed?
He put a tube in the guy's windpipe to keep him alive.
Okay. I thought he was dead.
Well, he basically was. He had agonal respiration, a few heartbeats. And
he didn't have a brain inside his noggin.
Well, his brain was blown off.
Yeah.
But the point is that second shot that hit his neck did some major trauma. A lot of people have overlooked that, but he had like a hole in the trachea. It was 4 minutes to get him to Parkland. It was another probably 4 to 6 minutes to get him in trauma room 1. And Carrico took care of him and tried to intubate him and get some breathing going. And, that he had a hole through his trachea. And the chance of, surviving that without the gunshot wound to the head was very slim. I mean, this guy...
I could see how people would be attracted to the part where his head came off as opposed to getting shot in the throat.
Yeah.
Because that's more of a grandiose movement.
Certainly.
Yeah, they focus on that. But, I mean, each injury alone was enough to kill him. It was a major... The neck injury was a major trauma.
Yeah, it's very sad. Can we talk about my sack now?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the success rate on a reversal?
It's about 90% for live sperm, but about 50% for pregnancy.
Okay.
And the theory is that once you have antibodies to sperm after the vasectomy, the pregnancy rate is lowered,
Right, because I absorb the sperm in my body, which makes me sick just to say. I'm sure Stephen's playing with it someplace. I absorb the sperm in my body. My body, since it's never seen it before, because normally I blow it out.
Right.
All right. Somebody else is enjoying it.
Right.
Now I'm keeping it, and my body starts building antibodies to fight it, right?
Right.
Okay.
But are you sure you want child support?
I'm just saying I'm examining a bunch of different stuff. This is one of those pivotal times in my life where a lot of things, I'm thinking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I saw a guy last week that had 6 children, 3 different wives. He just came in for the VAS, and I was like, if you saw me 10 years ago, I could have saved you a ton of money.
Well, so people don't equate saving cash with having kids.
I know. Now, the other thing that's fascinating about all that is the first child pays more in child support than the subsequent child. So after you run up about 6 or 8 kids, it gets to be fairly cheap,
Okay. Well,
you have to ask Everett how that works, but they pay a lot more for the first couple kids than the first several kids.
What's the recovery time on this?
It's much like the original, except it has to be done in the hospital.
All right. How long does it take?
It's about an hour and a half. It's not quite as easy as the first round.
And I'm totally out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't do that in the studio. It's a little tough for the studio.
All right.
We need magnifying lens and lights,
And it's all success rate. You said the success rate is pretty high and it's relatively safe?
Yeah, it's pretty high with the closer you do the reversal to the original, the better the results.
Okay, because I haven't had as much time to build up antibodies.
That's right. Well, you're probably going to build some antibodies, but still the results are better earlier on, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I needed to know.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good talking to you.
Dr. Fettner. Website is drfettner.com.
Okay.
What?
That's pretty deep. I've just never heard this come out of your mouth before. You really thought about having children. You've always just been so, I want my toys, I got my toys, I don't need anybody around playing with them. Did something happen?
I've come to the conclusion that all I'm going to be able to get being sterile is a bunch of whores.
It's not true.
What have I had so far?
Some whores.
Okay.
But this eye doctor wasn't a whore.
That was a different issue. She didn't want to have kids.
Okay. Those seem to be perfect, but okay. That's not true. You can also find chicks that have kids that have already had them.
Well, some of those still want to, for whatever reason, they love you and they want to make something.
But part of that will be gone if she already has one. Part of that I need will be gone. If you're got one being irritated and running around the house and screaming and hollering all day.
Right.
And I'm going to remind you that they do that until they're about 8 or 9.
Okay. My dad put up with it. Obviously, I can. Did you put up with it?
Certainly.
Are you a better person than I am?
I'm not a better person. I just know the pains and trials and tribulations. But
well, maybe it won't be as hard for me because I'll discipline my children.
No, yeah. That's what it'll be. I can see that.
What?
Nothing. You're certainly a better parent than I could ever be.
You don't know that I'm not going to discipline my kids.
Get the surgery. I can't wait.
They'd pray to be a Kennedy.
You get the surgery. I'll pay for it. You get the surgery.
What? You don't think I could raise a kid?
I'd love to
Why is
see
it you think you could do? Why is it you think you're so much better of a
I didn't
person?
say I'm a better person. I just said I'd love to see. Yeah, I want to see you after a night of not being able to sleep and the baby's crying and somebody's changing the diapers and they're running around in circles.
Doesn't the mother ever get up?
Yes.
So I mean, it's a 50-50 thing, isn't it?
Sort of. Yeah. But
Okay.
It's still a lot of work. And you just be a very short.
And are you going to tell me that the payoff isn't worth it?
Well, the payoff is great. It's getting past all the hurdles. But yeah, the payoff's having somebody at Christmas run up and say, "I love you, Daddy," and throw your arms around. It's pretty cool.
So there's no payoff for you.
There's. My children love me very much. Thank you.
They love
you would know.
They love you.
Know.
They love you to buy them stuff.
No, they don't.
What are you buying Chris now?
Who is telling you all this crap?
I don't know.
Who's telling you? Because I purposely don't tell you things like this. Because I don't want any crap from you.
What are you buying him now? Isn't it funny? I knew that you were looking into buying him a car. You and I went out to Forney one weekend to look at antiques, and he called you like every 8 minutes. He's never called you every 8 minutes. He don't call you on Father's Day. He didn't call you on your birthday, but he's calling because he wants a car.
He called me on my birthday.
My bad.
You wanted a car.
Did he bring it up on your birthday?
Of course. Have you heard about that car yet?
What car are you guys looking at? How are we doing the spots? All right.
It's a used Chevy, Corsica.
How much?
It retails for about $4,500. I'm going to get a much better deal than that, though.
How much less?
About half.
How you doing that?
Friend of a friend.
Okay.
He owns a car lot, and they get real good deals in occasionally.
How old is it?
It is a 95 Chevy Corsica with less than 80,000 miles, right at 80,000 miles.
That's a perfect car.
They have all the maintenance records. Yeah, 4 doors. Or V6.
And what's going to change once you buy him a car?
He'll go back to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean what's going to change? He's doing well right now. He's been working. He's kept this job.
How long's he had this job?
6 months.
Okay.
That's as long as he's ever had one.
Well, that doesn't mean that you win some type of award because you hung on to a job for 6 months.
I talked to his mom, and he was never a bad kid. He just likes to learn things the hard way. He's never really a bad kid.
That's not really a good excuse. He likes to learn things the hard way.
He does, unlike his brother. His brother can look out and go, "Oh, don't do that. That was stupid." He doesn't. He looks at everything and says, "How hard can I hit that wall?" And
how many times can I lie to my father? How many times? Don't.
Oh, you lied to your father too.
I do not.
You have when you were a kid.
I never did. I was afraid of my father.
Okay.
The only time that I lied to them was when they thought I was on the roof beating off.
When did you tell them?
I never told them. Till now.
Yeah, now they know.
I used to leave my magazine stash
on the roof.
Hated it when it rained.
I bet. And you go up on the roof, could the neighbors see?
I don't think so. I sat on the roof and see Buckner Boulevard from where I was sitting.
And did that?
Possibly.
On the roof?
Called me on the roof one day.
What are you doing out there?
What am I doing up here? I don't think I ever came up with an excuse. I just jumped down.
Just got off?
Mm-hmm.
Man. I can just see your dad goes up to clean the gutters or something with a pile of nasty magazines, a big pile of Kleenex. Well, no wonder he likes the roof.
No, that was the only time I lied to my father. And I believe I had a decent reason.
I bet that's not true, but whatever.
So when does he get this new ride?
I don't know. Whether I buy it or not. Probably will.
Of course you will. Do you need to borrow the money for that too?
Mm-mm.
You have the cash?
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. There's nothing wrong with me looking into having a reversal. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm just throwing it out as an option.
It certainly is a good option. You'd probably actually make a pretty good dad.
Don't do that.
What?
Cause?
Because what?
I don't know where you're going with
I'm not going anywhere. You probably actually would make a pretty good dad. Once you was your kid and not somebody else's running a house, you'd probably rally.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I got to go apologize to that kid back there. Did you know there was a 10-year-old back there?
No, not at first.
The second time?
I assumed I heard
crying.
When I heard crying and screaming.
Well, he didn't blow it the second time.
Yeah.
All right, I got to go back there. We'll be back.
This is Russ Martin.
anything to play?
What did I say you, or could the answer be C?
All right, let me dwell on it. Hi, Brad.
Hey, Russ.
Yep.
I've got the perfect argument for you not to get a vasectomy reversal. You will be 60, if you have that child today, you will be 61 years old when that child graduates from high school. Do you want to put up with a teenager in your late 50s?
You know, I'm still doing a lot of stuff that I did when I was in my 20s, so I don't know if I'm going to change that much over the next 20 years. Because if I was going to change dramatically on what I did and what I thought and how I reacted to stuff, I would have done it in the last 20 years. Probably. Right now, I'm probably set with the way that I'm going to do things. So I think it would be the same mindset today as I would be when I'm 61.
Yeah, but I'm just, you know, I've got a...
Well, it's a fabulous argument, and I certainly have no comeback for that.
He's got a point. At 60, you really... just a little patience. I just can't see you dealing with a teenager. The first time they run their tricycle...
Well, then maybe that's... What?
First time they run that tricycle down the side of that Batmobile and scrape
Then you whip
them. You're not going to whip your kids.
Absolutely.
You're not going to whip their kids.
They start running stuff into the cars, you get a whipping.
You'll be whipping their mama for having them.
No, yes.
You say
there would be corporal punishment in the house. And if they're too small to hit...
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the mom's going to bring that up at one point or another.
Yes, they are too small to hit at that point.
Well, you're right, honey.
What?
Say, that reminds me. Yes. Honestly, there would be corporal punishment, but there wouldn't be whippings like I got when I was a kid. I have a point of reference. I got my ass wailed on. And it was excessive. Granted, I didn't do the thing that I did again, whatever it was that got me in trouble, but I think the message could have gotten communicated in a third of the time.
You're right.
My mom got so tired giving me whipping, she would have to stop just to give her, because she would cramp up.
Is that real?
Swear to God. You get Mark on the phone.
Well, that's excessive. A swat or two is good, but
that was never just a swat or two. It was, I bet, without exaggeration, it would go on for a minute and a half.
That's excessive.
That's a long time. Think about getting your ass beat with a belt for, I'd say, at least a minute.
That's too much. You're getting what, 20 swats?
Whatever you can
30?
get. Whatever you can get in a minute.
That's ridiculous. I mean, what would you do to get that kind of a beating?
Nothing.
What did you do to get that kind of a beating? Don't look at me like that. I mean, give me an idea of what a minute.
I'm trying to think. I know that I went over to the neighbor's house one time. Across the street, didn't tell her, snuck out of the house.
Okay.
I went across the street to play with the neighbors. I come back home, and I remember specifically that because that was the first time I learned not to leave the house.
Well, that's good.
I don't think it took a minute and a half of getting your ass beat.
No. But you turned out to be a very disciplined adult, so it wasn't the end of the world. You didn't rebel. Some kids do. Every kid is different. Look at my two kids. Totally different.
Wonder why that is.
Just temperament. You can have two kids that are twins and grow up differently. Just one is rebellious and one wants to learn everything. Chris's problem is he's very, very smart, my older one. As a result, he thinks he can circumnavigate all the rules.
He thinks he's smarter than you.
Slowly but surely, he thinks he's smarter than anybody. He's done this to principals and counselors and...
Well, but after a while, you think it would finally dawn on him that obviously I'm not smarter than these people because I keep getting caught, I got no cash, I'm in debt, and I had to leave the state because the government's coming after me.
The government's not coming after him.
Why is he in Florida?
That's where his mom lives.
Why did he change his name?
He didn't.
But you see what I'm saying is he went through all these things and not once did it ever work out. I went to go to band camp and I forget what happened with that. Didn't work out. That's not really a good example
but a lot of things. Yeah, one after the other. He's had to learn the hard way. I'm going to go to homeschool. I'm going to homeschool myself. His counselor stood there and looked him in the face and said, "You can't do that." He goes, "Watch me." Well, we all watched him. All right, not do it. Which would you rather than a boy or a girl if you get a vasectomy reversal? Vasectomy reversal.
I would probably say...
I found a survey here.
I always thought a little girl would be nice. Mm-hmm. All the standard stuff, dress her up,
you can get to be about 16, 17 before you start...
God.
It's your daughter.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't throw things like that at me.
17 years old, starting to date. Guys coming to the door. Oh, that.
Well, I'm sure I would go through the same thing that everybody else goes through. Because you know exactly what he's going to do. You know what he wants. You know when he's going to try it. And you can tell the kid, hey, I know what you're going to do. I can threaten to kill you. I can't really do that. Just take care of my little girl.
Not me, Mr. Martin. I would never do that.
Not one guy. Not one would I can't imagine going through that. I'd probably say a little boy then.
That's, let me see, this is Duke University. Yeah, they say, 38% chose a boy, 28% chose a girl, and 27% said either one is fine. Among men, if you just ask men, 45 say they'd rather have a son, and 36 of the women would rather have a daughter. And they say that's basically because if it's the same sex, they think there's some kind of bond there. Guys, my son, my boy.
Well, Trey proved that wrong, didn't he?
All right. Don't. What are you doing? Oh, gosh. Why? Why'd you have to do that?
See, it's not really that funny, but it's the fact that Eddie just loses it over stuff like that.
You knew if it had to do with training his mom.
Yeah.
Or nipples.
Yeah. And it just makes you wonder if they lay in bed side by side.
All right.
And lick their nipples.
And bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twinkies. Oh. You've got more hair than mine.
Mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. You little boy. I could see you with a boy. You'd be more likely to wail on a boy than you would a little girl anyway.
You mean whip? Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I can't see whipping a little girl. I wonder if he still gets them. Trey.
I don't know.
Told you never to blow in my eyes. We gotta stop. These jokes are too easy. I mean, they're too cheap. All right. Just hand me something. We'll play anything. Do we have something to give away?
Yes.
All right, then. Do we have time to do this?
Not really.
Yeah, we'll do it here anyway. I don't care.
Now it's time to play everybody's favorite game. And here's your host, Russ Martin.
You ready?
Yeah.
That's a wrong hoe. Stinky ones for daddy.
Russ.
How many times you ever had?
Oh, no.
I don't think I can see. How many times have you heard Daddy say,
Yeah. Yeah. Every calls mouth.
Yeah.
His dad calls.
Daddy calls her. That's her. Okay. We don't have time to do this, do we? All right. Keep them on hold, Dan. We'll try and do it when we come back. Love me up a regular bumper, if you would. Thank you.
This is Russ Martin.
All right, we're done. Dan, you clear out the phone lines. We don't have time for anything. Here, Eddie, save those for tomorrow. Hey, did Lee Harris come back from the Philippines?
Yes, I saw him in the hall today.
Flew all the way to the Philippines for sex.
Mm-hmm. And then didn't get it.
Really?
Yeah, what I can tell.
He didn't get any sex from that chick? Mm-hmm. Is he going to bring her back to this country?
I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but it's the way he was talking.
All right, don't tell me anything else. I'll talk to him on the air tomorrow.
Okay.
I still can't fathom flying all the way to the Philippines for sex. Is his mom dead?
Or for a wife. Stop. No. When I meet a wife, it's like, it's being met on the internet. Freaky.
I don't have any more. I'm out of mom stuff.
Okay.
How many times I tell you? No frosting on the brownies. You get it?
Yes.
At least give me some kind of signal with your eyes if you're going to surprise me. Get out of here. Go to your room. Send your dad in here.
For more information about the Russ Martin Show, if you want to email us individually, go to russmartin.com. To get answers and audio to any questions you might have about the Russ Martin Show, it's at russmartin.info. Instant email is at studio@russmartin.com. The show site's johndavidryan.com, eddieboyd.com, danandtassos.com, KLLightfoot.com. What else we got here? A limousine service provided by Ultimate Limousines. Contact George at limogeorge.com. The official urologist of the Russ Martin Show is Dr. Chris Fettner for men's health issues. Click on doctor. You have to spell it out. Dr. Fettner.
It's either way.
.com. Oh, it does?
I've told you that before.
Or it's live1053.com. Yeah.
Yes, I have. Just drfettner.com.
drfettner.com.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.